What's up, fight fans? Thank you as always for coming through. Much appreciated. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. All right, I can't lie to you. I was just sitting here thinking about the Joshua versus Parker fight coming up, and I've got a sneaky feeling Parker knocks him out. Don't know why. Don't know why. I've got a sneaky feeling Parker lands one, and that's all it takes in the heavyweight division is that he lands one. So when people leave comments on the video saying, "Oh, what? No way, Joshua's gonna run through him," I'm like, nothing's that certain. Nothing is that certain, especially not in boxing, right? I think we've seen it all before. Nothing is that certain. So I was just thinking about some of the biggest upsets that we've ever seen. We've had some big upsets in boxing. I'm trying to think, like Lloyd Honeyghan, Don Curry. That was a big one. That was a big one. Even people don't think this was an upset, but Sugar Ray Leonard beating Marvin Hagler. I don't think he beat Marvin Hagler, but Sugar Ray Leonard beating Marvin Hagler was a huge upset. Muhammad Ali Foreman, that was considered a big upset as well. I'll tell you what was a big one that people don't think of it as being an upset, but Muhammad Ali, or should I say Cassius Clay, Sonny Liston, that was a big upset. I mean, I don't think people understand the reputation Sonny Liston had, and Cassius Clay was just a little skinny flash kid coming out of the Olympics. That was a huge upset. Or even in the last sort of year or so. I mean, like, I think it's fair to say James DeGale versus Truax was considered a big upset, right? Even Tony Bellew, David Haye, yes, there was the issue with with David Haye's Achilles, but that was considered a big upset. And I was thinking, what's the biggest upset we've ever seen? Like, ever seen? And to me, there will never, ever be anything as big as Tyson versus Buster Douglas. Like, in my lifetime, I don't expect anything like that to ever happen again in terms of someone being that much of an underdog and someone being that much of a ruler of a division and feared. That was probably, and this might be a bit of hyperbole, but I think that could be the biggest upset in sporting history. So we're moving away from the boxing realm now. I'm talking in sporting history. I was 9 years old when that fight happened. And I remember it as an upset. I remember it because it was almost as though someone died in my family. My dad was a huge Tyson fan. Like I guess most people's dads were Tyson fans. And I remember my dad mourning and me thinking, okay, who's dead? It was that big of an upset. What other ones have there been? I think Leicester City winning the league was huge. But you know how big, this is when you have to put into perspective how big of an upset that was. Remember, Buster Douglas has been beat numerous times before he fought Tyson. It wasn't like he was this untested guy that had come through and was then fighting Tyson. This is a guy that fought for a title against Tony Tucker. Tony Tucker knocked him out. Fought guys like Mike White and Jesse Ferguson, guys you probably never ever heard of and lost. And then he got the Tyson fight. So it wasn't as though he was this kind of nobody. No one was sure of him. We knew who Buster Douglas was. He just had been beaten a few times before. So it was like, this is easy food for Tyson. You know, Don King was taking it into a new market in Japan. Tyson was going to, be this new king, open up a new market. And then that happened. Buster Douglas was 42-1 to beat Tyson. Tyson actually opened up. This is how crazy it is. For those of you that don't know, Tyson opened up as 1-20. I think it was like a 1-20 or 1-30. People were so sure Tyson was going to win. It was almost like millionaires were just making quick money, right? Obviously, us near mortals would have to put 20,000 on to get 1,000 back, yeah? But millionaires were putting on like 200,000, a million, just to get pocket change back. That's how sure they were that Tyson was going to run through Buster Douglas. Because Tyson, prior to Buster Douglas, had run through sort of everyone before that. Remember, he had run through Tony Tubbs. Michael Spinks got it in 1 round. Bruno went 5. Carl Williams got knocked out in 1. So Buster Douglas was almost like a formality. People knew about the issues Tyson had outside the ring. It was almost like, yeah, but it's Buster Douglas. People were lumping on so much money on Tyson, the odds just kept getting bigger. Because people were like, okay, look, if I put 200,000, how much do I get? If I put $1 million, how much do I get? So the odds went from 1-20 to 1-42. Basically, there was one bookmaker, a Las Vegas bookmaker called Jimmy Vaccaro, right? So, and he's got a place in history, this guy, because he was the only bookie This is how crazy it is. This is how you know this is the biggest upset in sports. He was the only bookie that was actually taking bets on Buster Douglas to win. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So he was the only one actually taking bets on Buster Douglas to win. Some people were putting bets down. Don't get me wrong, it's 42-1. You could put a tenner down. But he was the only bookie. Every other bookie was like, this is stupid. People were not putting bets on whether Tyson would win or not. It was, okay, what round? What punch would he knock him out with? Would it dare go to points? That's what the odds. There was nothing about Buster Douglas. That was like, yeah, foregone conclusion. That's how much Tyson was a favourite. It was Iron Mike Tyson. It was Tyson that could not be stopped. Tyson that's very rarely even looked hurt in a fight. That was what it was. And I can't think of any and I'm a big sports fan, but I can't think of any sporting achievement that has been that far-fetched. I mean, I'm guessing there's been some NFL games in the past. I mean, even some NBA games. Premier League we've spoken about already. I can't think of someone that's come from that far left to destroy the unbeatable Iron Mike Tyson, and bookies weren't even accepting bets on this guy winning. That's crazy. That's crazy. So when people tell me, and look, we know we had outside issues, but when people tell me, oh, Anthony Joshua won't get beat by Joshua Parker, won't get beat? Won't get beat? Are you sure? Because I've seen a number of upsets in the boxing ring, and trust me, we could see one in what is it now? 10 days time. We could see one. Do I expect it to happen? Absolutely not. But did I expect Buster Douglas, a 42-1 underdog, to shock the world? No. So trust me, in this lovely game we call boxing, it only takes one. Only takes one. Unfortunately for Buster Douglas, he landed not just one, but remember that image of Tyson going down? He landed like 3 or 4 as Tyson's going down. Fantastic. Well, guys, tell me what's your biggest upset in sports. That's my biggest one. Leicester City is very close. Greece. Do you remember Greece winning Euro 2004, was it? That was a big one. But again, nothing bigger than Buster Douglas shocking the world and beating the supposedly unbeatable Iron Mike Tyson.